Yo, what is good, y'all? Welcome to One on One. We got a special guest today. My man DB Real Music is in the building. Local cat here. Local cat. DB, man, how you doing?
Man, doing good, man. Doing good. Just glad to be here.
Hey, appreciate you being on. I've had a chance to chop it up with DB before, behind the scenes, but never had him here on the show. So I'm excited for y'all to meet him a little bit more if you don't know who he is. And if you do know who it is, stop on through. If y'all got a question for him or anything, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. But man, it's cool to have him on the show. You guys are going to get to know him a little bit more. I'm going to play one of his videos. We're going to let y'all know what's next with DB, Real Music, and just have a conversation, maybe learn something that y'all don't know about him. So the first thing I wanted to bring up was how I met this dude. So I said he's a local artist here, local. He's probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes from my house where I'm actually at. So he was on, about roughly.
Yeah.
No traffic like today.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I was coming home today and it was like, I'm like, come on, man, I'm trying to get home. I got stuff to do. But DB's a local, and the reason how I found that out was we both did like a Rise magazine, which is a Christian hip hop magazine who's sports artists, and they do a lot of cool stuff. They were having like this artist, whatever it was, Tuesdays or Wednesdays or something. And it was during the pandemic, I want to say, or summer. I'm not sure. It might have been summertime. I don't remember. But DB was on there, and I was watching, and this dude said he was from Naperville. And I was like, Naperville. Usually I know the people who are kind of in my vicinity, especially Christian hip hop rappers. So it was cool. I saw it. I said, I don't know this DB. So they played a song of his. I thought it was cool. I think it was Seasons.
Yeah, Seasons.
Dope track with Dre Murray. A seasoned CHH artist, been around for a while. Dope dude as well. And I heard the track and I was like, I gotta hit him up. So I hit him up just like I do with anybody who I look to build with or whatever. And here we are today. Done some music and different things like that. Had him out to one of the gathering events that we have, the online shows. DB's a great artist, humble dude. So I'm excited for y'all to get to meet him a little bit more. So do you remember some of that and kind of how that took place?
Yeah, I definitely remember, bro. On Rise magazine, I was as shocked as you were, man. Like,
yeah,
I was just like, "What, you in Naperville?" Whatnot. So I was like, I didn't know there was any other, people, other Christian hip hop artists that were near. We just moved to the area, So it was just like really cool, to find somebody also submit something, in this Rise magazine, and they actually live like really close to me, So I was just like, what? So I was just like, yo, and then you hit me up, and then we just started chopping, and the rest is history. So I was like, yo, it was just really cool to be able to see that, man, and to be able to, meet you and, to be where we are today, man. So
yeah, man, it was really dope. Again, because I assumed that you had moved. Like you were new to the area. Yeah. And now you tell us a little bit, and that's kind of cool because I'm like, man, I know I would have met dude like at some point during somebody would have known him, or there would have been something. Anyways, but so now tell us a little bit about that Grand Rapids area in Michigan, because you were there for some time, right?
No, not Grand Rapids.
You were never in that, or you went to, okay. So
Berrien Springs, Michigan.
Okay. And that's Michigan.
Yeah.
Now, so you now correct me if I'm wrong, which I usually am in life, but did you knew Kiwi Morse?
Yes.
You went to school with him.
Yep.
So is that how you kind of got to know some of them dudes from that area, or how did you kind of build with some of them cats?
Exactly. Yeah, it was through him. I mean, me and Kiwi go back, back I think 2012. We went to Lake Michigan College together. About 2 years, so that's how we met. Kiwi was doing music at the time. I was studying music, but I wasn't really like doing music like that, at the time. But like I loved Christian hip hop, and I was doing, just a little bit of something, but I was mainly studying music, So, now today, like, for about probably 4 or 5 years, like once I left that college and I went, down to Huntsville to study theology, me and Kiwi kind of like fell off, So, but once I got back into my music, we kindled it, we talked and we got a track together called Enemy, and as I continue to meet him, as we continue to build again, I end up talking to, him and getting, acquainted with the guys, from Grand Rapids at the Edge Church, through him, so through my relationship with him, sparked, interest, into the Edge Church, to get to know them, and so, and they've invited me out, and, so I just been building with them,
Yeah, that's dope. And shout out to the dudes at the Edge Church in Grand Rapids, which is funny because I know Queese now. We built over the years. Great dude. And shout out to what they're doing over there. They're doing some great stuff. I know Edify is from that area too. They got some dope artists and dope people too, man.
Yeah.
It's not all about the music. There's just some dope people in that area. So that's cool. That's cool that you kind of got linked in with them before you kind of moved out here. So tell us a little bit now. You started to get a little bit into your music, kind of where that kind of started from. But tell us a little bit. Give us that tidbit of your testimony, and then tell us a little bit how God kind of got you into this Christian hip hop space.
Well, to start, man, crazy thing is my parents, they introduced me to Christian hip hop when I was a young kid.
Wow.
So I grew up on Cross Movement, with like Lecrae, The Truth, Flame, all of them, when they were just coming up, so, and I loved, Christian hip hop really ever since. I grew up on Grits, as well, and, these are some, real old names, but these are some guys, I grew up off and I loved it, and I continued to, also, start working on my own music and stuff like that, because of them. And I was inspired by them and I would enter into contests and stuff like that. And, and hear a lot of good things from people, so as I continue to, move forward, in my life and really get to know Christ, around 2012, 2013, the time when I was, getting to know Kiwi and stuff in Michigan, I was studying music, at Lake Michigan College.
Yeah.
And then about a year later in 2014, I felt that God was calling me to be a pastor, so that's why I went down to Huntsville to study, pastoral ministry.
Hey.
And I was doing that, so the time between like 2014 and 2019, I dropped music like altogether because I felt that God, maybe that wasn't going to be a part of my life, my ministry like that. I love Christian hip hop, still listen to Lecrae and all of them, but I did not go ahead. I did not do anything, with my music really. I just dropped it all together.
Sure.
So, but in 2019, the beginning of it, I ended up seeing a movie at my parents' place called, I Can Only Imagine. And Holy Spirit, just really tugged at my heart.
Dope.
And was like, like that passion and fire, that you have within you, like I built that within you for Christian hip hop, and so, from then, God was just like, like you're the one who dropped music. That wasn't me, I tell you to do that, and so that's been, my passion, I just didn't really fully recognize it until the beginning of 2019, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, man. That movie, I Could Only Imagine. We actually saw that as a family. And I just remember like, it's one of those where you had to hold back the thug tears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had to put the pinky, put the pinky over there and just,
man, he's like, man, my eyes are sweating. I'm not crying, man.
I ain't crying. You crying?
Yeah, I know. You ain't crying.
Yeah, I mean, then with his lady, coming back, the lady. Anyways, man, that's crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. Well, that's dope. I mean, that movie was inspiring. I think sometimes too, we always have those little it seems like a little moment, but those little moments could turn into something that either reignites that fire or lights that fire again. And it might be something just like that. Me, I remember it was long time ago where I finally was like, all right, I believe in God. And, you know, I was going to put my life, you know, for him. And it was the Passion of Christ.
Yeah.
Actually going to see it.
Yeah.
Now I don't look at that as like kind of like I rededicated my life years later after seeing that and all that stuff. But that was the thing where it was like, I finally got like a picture, you know, it was, I don't know, it was something to me that just kind of clicked. So yeah, anyways, man, I love hearing stories like that. That just kind of that ignited that fire, man. And that's dope, man. Guys, I'm here with DBrealmuzik, you know, dope artist, you know, teacher, you know, he also teaches. Tell me a little bit quick. We talked about this off camera. Tell everybody what you do when you ain't doing music and you ain't at home with your wife, and doing that. Tell us what you do.
Yeah, man. So my full-time job right now, you know, outside of music, you know, I work at Northern Illinois Academy, you know, and just working with kids as a residential counselor, you know, being able to, you know, help feed them, to, you know, make sure they taking their showers, making sure, you know, that they getting to school on time, doing their schoolwork, you know, and getting them out of crisis and stuff like that. So assisting them really in any way that I can, you know, and so just building relationships with them, you know, as well. So I had, you know, a lot of, you know, good days more than bad days. I had more, you know, so I mean, I enjoy being with youth, you know, so
learning that patience.
It's been teaching me patience, man, because they're autistic kids, you know, so they don't have it all upstairs, you know, but they're good kids, you know, and they, you know, definitely test my patience at times. But
they need guidance, right?
They need the guidance and need the good examples, you know. But now, so I try to be that, you know, for them.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, you know, shout out to that. I mean, because you know, people, you know, sometimes I think as musicians and that kind of stuff, you know, artists, people see that side of us, but then they don't see what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, teaching and helping, you know, kids with special needs, you know, basically for the most part, and those types of things. So I mean, that's to me to be commended. In my book, number one. So that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
I want y'all to see we heard a little bit about DB, heard his testimony, heard about his job, how we kind of met, but I want y'all to see some of his music as well, in case you have missed it somehow already. We got a video here that was called Work. And this was featuring K Drama. So let's go ahead and get into this video and let's check it out as soon as I press play. Here we go.
Yeah, wake up. Yeah, wake up. It's time to stand, get up. You can't just pray. Lord, fill my cup, don't act so abrupt. A fate without words is dead, yup. Time to put a word, Kobe with a footwork. Easy, like clockwork, and putting on 21 seasons like dirt. Working towards my dream, and dream shake Hakeem. And me and God are a team, and pray, believe, and work, that's the scheme. Gotta know it's in my chains, no work, no eating, that's the thing. Gotta put in work, dream my green, and probably 21, 25, no daydream. Don't get caught slipping, maybe it's your chance sleeping. There's time for dreaming, you always need time for scheming. Hands to the plow, like AD the brow, say to the crowd, I work for this while, live my dream now. Some will ask how, didn't make a vow, putting in work anyhow. Work, idle hands will make you poor, you gotta work. Brighter hands will bring you more, you gotta work. Idle hands will make you poor, you gotta work. Brighter hands will bring you more, you gotta work. Work, 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 work. Idle hands will make you poor, you gotta work. Brighter hands will bring you more, you gotta work.
Honestly, I'm an anomaly, I be the one. Commonly, constantly on my grind, hard for the sun. Possibly, probably won't retire till I'm done. I got so much work to do, I always feel under the gun, but I love it. Yeah, nothing else I covet. Merging melodies, percussion, and stuff it all in the oven. Come on, lyrics start the rushing, painting lyrical discussions. These 16s and dozens leaving knots in your stomach. All hail the King Jesus, son of God, who made me to work. I give it all at my job. He created me to create. I immediately start to break when I see what all it took to free me from my fate. Y'all can't wait till Friday. I look forward to Monday, cause I'm trying to take flight with style to the runway. For me, I must take entrepreneurship plus faith. Faith without works is dead. You cannot just pray, you gotta work.
Idle hands bring you more. You gotta work, 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 work. Idle hands will make you poor. You gotta work. Grinding hands will bring you more. You gotta work. I be putting the 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 work. Idle hands will make you poor. You gotta work. Grinding hands will bring you more. You gotta work. Idle hands will make you poor. You gotta work. Grinding hands will bring you more. You gotta work. Work, 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 work. Idle hands will make you poor. You gotta work. Grinding hands will bring you more. You gotta work. Work, work.
Oh, tried to hit it one more time for an encore. That was Work featuring K-Drama. That was DBrealmuzik featuring K-Drama. Work, shot right here in Aurora, Illinois, right in our neck of the woods over here. I've said this before on some of my shows. Aurora is a fantastic spot to be able to shoot videos. There's so many spots. You just have to know where they are. But anyways, if anybody's ever in this neck of the woods, let us know. There's some great spots downtown Aurora. Yeah. Anyways, DB, man, tell us a little bit about that song. Kind of how it came about. You know, I don't want to say it's a simple message. You know, we all kind of like to talk about that grinding and working and all that stuff. But usually there's something behind. You know, maybe you was putting in that work. You know, tell us a little bit about how that song kind of came about.
Yeah. That song, I think I started working on that like probably the end of 2019.
Okay.
You know, middle of 2019, end of 2019. And, you know, and I felt that, you know, the message, like you said, is simple, you know, it's just, you got to work hard, you know, to, you know, get where you are in life, you know, whatnot. And you can't just work, you know, as well, you know, you got to ask God, you know, you got to pray, seek God, you know, and work hard, you know, whatnot. But the thing is, you can pray all day, all you want, you know, but if you're not showing your faith by putting in that work, nothing's really going to happen, you know. So you have to go ahead and, you know, work with God. You know, so I believe, you know, that song, you know, is really just straight to the point, you know, and I was just like, okay, you know, I really like the song. And I think that K-Drama, you know, would really do well, you know, on the song and on the instrumental, you know, whatnot. So I just hit him up, you know, we talked, chopped up, you know, on Instagram, and, you know, the rest is history. So the song, you know, is really one of my favorites. You know, it's a simple message, you know, and one, I guess you could say, that still, you know, inspires me, you know, you know, to continue to keep working, you know, to continue to grind and to be able to, you know, pursue after my hopes and dreams and to be able to get where God wants for me to be, you know, so.
Absolutely. I think you hit it on the money too. We could pray all day, but if we don't take that step, we don't take that leap, that grind, that work.
Faith without works is dead, man.
Yeah. God could work without our help, but usually you have to take that step, and you got to take that. He wants to see that work. He wants to see that you're putting in
faith, man.
Yeah, he wants to see. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that, man.
It's action.
It's action, man. Just like love, it's action, man. So no, I love that. I love it. Great song, man. We had a couple comments in there. My guy Jay Knight stopped in and said that thing slaps. So I agree with him, man. That's coming from a dude who knows his stuff as well. So that's a super dope track. Quee stopped in there. Quee said, "What up?" Shout out to Quee, man. And my guy David says, "Seek God and work hard." Yep, he's same. He agrees, and I think a lot of people do agree with that as well, man. You just can't be sitting on the couch and just think something's gonna happen.
Exactly. Nothing gonna happen, dude. You just gonna pray, and then you just gonna sit back and just not to be like a genie and just grant you every request. No, that's not how you work.
He ain't a genie.
He ain't like that. No,
he ain't a genie.
Yourself too. You gotta pray, you know, and work alongside God, man, to be able to see things even come to pass.
I love that. I love it. Now let's talk a little bit about. We're doing pretty well here on time. I wanted to talk a little bit about your album. You you know, I probably heard a little too much of it. You know, I had a chance to help mix it. By the way, as I already told you before, thank you, number one, for, you know, letting me work on it.
No problem.
I know we had, you know, we had some things to try to figure out, and I think for the most part, that thing turned out pretty well, man. Number one, your tracks were dope. One thing I wanted to tell everybody a little bit where they can find that stuff real quick, and then I want to ask you a question afterwards. But tell them about the album and where they can find it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, really, man, the album. It was a while in the making. It took about a year and a half. You know, man, to be able to get that thing done. You know, it took some time, you know, like, you know, because I'm a procrastinator at times. So at times, you know I should have been working on my music and I wasn't, you know, so it took me, you know, a little bit, you know, and I think just in general, you know, when you're coming out with an album, you know, it takes a while. You know, so but
what was the name of it real quick, just so I could type it in the comments in case anybody wants to check it?
Yeah, it's called Who I Am.
Who I Am. God, I could not think of the album. After and listened to every song and mixed it, and I couldn't think of the title of it. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so the whole concept, you know, really is just introducing me, you know, to the world, you know, just letting people know, like, okay, who I am, you know, and it's not the question of who am I, you know, I know who I am. Right. So, you know, that was the whole thing, you know, of the album, you know, and just getting people to understand and know my story, you know, where I've come from, you know, and what I believe, you know, today, you know, and what I'm, you know, continuing to work towards, you know. So, you know, it was really like, it was awesome just to be able to get it done, you know, and to be able to just push it out, man, and to be able to, you know, introduce myself, you know, to everybody who may not know me, you know, and do it, you know, through Christian hip hop, you know, through this avenue, you know, and so it was just the first of many, you know, just the beginning, you know. Absolutely. So, be on the lookout for more.
Yeah, and I think that was a good way to start it too. You know, letting kind of people know where you came from and who you are. Like, you know, show them a little bit of what they expect. You know, because we all bring our own things to the table too. Yeah. You know, so not that our sound and things won't change. Maybe you go. I don't want to say it like that. We all go through things. Maybe we go through some, and then the next album has some of that. You know, more testimony or whatever. But you know, for this one, you have, you know, you want to let people know who you are, where you came from, and what you expect. And I think that's dope. I think that's a good way to do it. You know, so kudos. I thought the thing turned out well. There was a couple songs I really enjoyed on it. Now, there was a couple tracks. This is what I wanted to get to with the question. You had your wife singing on it. Shout out to Candace.
Yep. Candace Bennett. Yep.
Candace Bennett.
She killed it. She killed both. Both songs, man.
Now that's dope. I wanted to get into that. You know, you had your wife on it, and you also posted something the other day about, and this was just something we could kind of leave off on, but all of us artists, for the most part, as you know, unless we're 17, 18 years old, which there are artists who are like that, but a lot of us are in our 20s, you know, they might be 30s, and you either married or you got a girlfriend or you got whatever. But, you know, we usually have that somebody who stands with us, and you had posted the other day, you know, how your wife is one of your biggest supporters. And I think that's a big deal, especially for somebody who's doing this. It takes up a lot of time, you know, as you know, and, you know, and
money, man, like
all of it. You know, so I just thought that was dope that she was on the album. And I always think it's good to have your wife or whoever that you're kind of supporting you know, supporting what you do, to have them be included one way or another. And maybe your wife can't sing. Don't put them on the track, y'all. If your wife can't sing, don't put them on the track. But if your wife can't sing, you put them on the track.
I can't sing, so I put her on. Yes,
and she sounded great. But tell us a little bit about that. Just, you know, you made that post the other day. Tell us just your thoughts on that and having her on, whatever you want to go into.
Man. Yes, indeed, man. My wife is my biggest supporter.
That's what's up.
And anybody who is an artist, you know, who's aspiring, you know, to, you know, look at this as a career, or, you know, you're just doing it just in general, you know, like have a spouse, have a partner who supports, you know, you and your music, you know, and your dreams and where you want to go, man. Because it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, you know. You may even be discouraged and not even doing it, you know, because you don't have a supportive partner, you know. So, but my wife, you know, praise God, like the Lord knew, you know, what I needed, you know, in my journey, you know. And so, you know, my wife is very supportive, you know, and she even gives me a lot of critiques and whatnot, which I need, you know, and she, you know, supports, and, you know, in that way, you know. And I was like, man, my wife can sing, you know, she can really sing. So I was like,
she sing.
On my first debut album, I'm like, why not have my wife, you know, on, you know, a couple of tracks, you know. So, you know, so I allowed her, you know, to, you know, be on 2 of them, you know. I'm just like, hey, and, you know, she killed it, you know, she killed it both, man. So, you know, so I was like, man, like, it was a no-brainer, you know, really. So, but just the importance, you know, of having a spouse, you know, who supports, you know, you as an artist, is very, you know, very important. And definitely something that you need, you know. If you're single, you know, you should definitely look for somebody, you know, who's going to be supporting you, you know, if you're really trying to be serious about this. Sure. You know, and those, you know, who are already married or whatever like that, you know, yourself, you know, I know your wife supports you. You know, and, you know, it's very vital.
You got to be on the same page, you know. Yes. Or at least close.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, I think that's super important, and that's really cool that you had her on there. You know, she's, you know, that's something where your spouse is, whether you're female and you got your husband or a husband, you know, female, to have that support is super important, and to make them feel included one way or another, I think is a good way, a tip for artists. Try to make them some way where they can be included. Because when you're not in, when you got 2 people and you're not, you know, the other one doesn't feel included, that's where that it could be animosity, it could be support kind of starts to go away or whatever, but it's not really there. So try to include them if possible. You know, and a lot of times they are willing to do it, and they actually want you to ask them. You know, so anyways, you know, sometimes we have to mind read too. You know, that's one of that's one thing as a husband, we have to mind read sometimes, y'all.
That don't be the easiest thing either, man.
And you know, it probably goes both ways. There's sometimes our wives, they have to mind read us sometimes because we don't want to share or whatever. So it's fair both ways. But anyway. Man, that's super dope. I think you've had some good stuff to say, man. That's very important. Tell everybody a little bit. You know, having a good time here, chatting it up. We're moving along here on time, but I wanted you to have a chance to be able to talk about that hard work that you've been doing, that grind. Usually that leads somewhere. You know, especially when you're doing it the right way. I think a lot of times too, God will reward that, or at least get you in a position to where you're supposed to be. And you know, there's something cool that you had coming up here, and I was just gonna put it up real quick. Let me just shine it up. Tell us a little bit about, and I can't find. I'm gonna find it. You know, you got the Invasion Reloaded tour coming up. You on with a bunch of heavy hitters of Christian hip hop. It's gonna be super dope for you to get on there and do that. You know, you got Brian, you got Miles Minnick, you got CJ. I love CJ. 1K P Son, Halvey, and you see DB over there along with Ronnie Brown. And they're gonna have a great time bringing the word of God and also bringing some super dope music. Tell us a little bit just kind of about what you got coming next, just so people can stay tuned. And then we'll probably wrap it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, I mean, he just showed it, man. Like, you know, I'm gonna be on the Invasion tour, you know, starting August 6th, you know, and go to the 21st, you know. So
when is it again? August
6th. That's the first day. So it'll be August 6th to the 21st. It'll be 14 dates, you know, and the locations will be actually posted, you know, on Instagram next week.
To be determined, y'all. Yeah, or will be announced soon.
Yes, it will be announced soon. You know, just to be able to be on that tour with all those heavy hitters, you know, and just, you know, seeing God like open up the doors, you know, I'm just like, hey, putting in that work, you know, and trusting God, you know, and building the right relationships, you know, and just being able to, you know, really believe in yourself and dream, you know, bigger, you know, than you ever dreamt before. You know, you end up in positions, you know, like myself. You know, and so now, you know, right now I'm just in the process of getting prepared, you know, for the tour. You know, working on some new music, you know, so stay tuned. I got some fire features coming, you know, before the tour. You know, and I can't wait, you know, for y'all to hear it, you know, and to perform them, you know, for the tour. You know, and just to be able to have that opportunity, you know, man. And I'm just like, you know, I'm really, really excited. You know, so
that's awesome. And is that where they? I know that your Instagram handle at DBrealmuzik. That your Instagram is that everything across the board?
Yes, you can just type in DBrealmuzik for Facebook, YouTube too, to find my music.
Dope.
You know, also as well, you know, on Instagram, there's my Instagram handle. You know, I'm mainly active, mainly on my Instagram for sure.
Cool.
It's the main one. You can also hit me on my email. It's the same thing, dbrealmuzik@gmail.com. You know, so you can find me all those different places. I'm also, you know, on Spotify as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm on Spotify. Just type in DBrealmuzik.
Same thing.
You know, and you know, just go from there.
They'll find you there, guys. Yeah, I mean, that a quick tip, as I always say too, make your handle the same across the board. Somebody types in your handle, make sure that's everywhere so that people don't have to type in different handles. So you type in DBrealmuzik, you're gonna find them. You know, that's dope. Make sure you check him out on Spotify. He's got his album on there. He's got Seasons on there as well. And he's going to have some new music. So make sure you guys hit that follow button, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. Make sure you stay up to date with some of the things that are coming from DBrealmuzik. Man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We kept it good. We kept it good on time. It was a good conversation. So I'm glad we kept it going.
Yep. I definitely enjoyed being on here, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, stay on afterwards. We'll chop it up real quick, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let us know if you have anything, if you got any questions or whatever. Be sure to hit up DB or hit myself up, and I'll point you in his direction. But appreciate y'all. Till next time. Peace.